Okay, you're live.
Okay, so today after the break, we had Special Agent Rand Stover. He's with the BLM since August of 2009. He's the Operations Section Chief involved in the planning of security. Is that too close or am I okay?
No, you're cool.
Okay. Before that, he was a Secret Service agent. He was a Secret Service agent, investigation and criminal investigation and protection. He protected the president, the vice president, and the first lady. They didn't say who, but I'm assuming the Obama administration. When he transferred to the BLM, he didn't need any additional training because he was already a Secret Service agent. So let's talk about that. So here you have a Secret Service agent that went to the BLM. He says he goes to the BLM because he was able to stay in a certain area of the country. But that sounds like a step down. It doesn't sound like a step up. And then he talks about how the BLM is grouped. There's two groups. There's the Uniformed Ranger Group and the Underwriting Special Agent Group. The Rangers are to patrol the public lands, and they have about 245 million acres, primarily in the 12 western states. He also did say that he, as a BLM agent, has the authority to arrest. Let's see. Then we go into how he was planning, how the BLM hired government contractors to gather the cattle. They were using trucks, trailers, helicopters, horses, all of those to gather the cattle, and they picked the Topop Wash as their main area. The incident command. They picked it because it had nice flat areas and it had limited access. Then they talked about why they closed the area. And they had to bring in temporary buildings, lights, generators. The area was 7 miles from the Bundy property and 5 miles from the river and that bridge, which I'm not sure why they brought that up. The BLM had 83 BLM agents, 23 Park Service agents, 3 Forest Service agents, and 25 FBI special agents. And he said that was low. Normally the BLM has 254 rangers and 90 special agents.
Wow.
Most of these people were from out of state. They were not familiar with the area, and most of them volunteered, and very few of them were assigned, or some were assigned. Let's see.
Did they say anything about Dan Love in there?
They wouldn't mention his name,
Oh, wow.
but they always would refer to him as the special agent in charge.
Oh.
He asked if he consulted with the contractors about why they would use these options to collect the cattle, and they said it was because the cattle were not, let's say, range cattle and not used to human interaction. They talked about their rings of protection, the inner ring, the intermediate ring, and the outer ring. The inner ring would have 4 agents, the intermediate ring would have about 12 agents, and the outer ring would have 10 to 12 agents. Why does the area is closed? Does BLM have the authority to temporarily close the BLM land? Yes, they do, from the court order. They closed it so the public could not go in, and so that the contractors would be safe while taking the cattle. So they're saying they closed the entire area, huge amount of area, and they were going to close it from March 27th to May 12th. That's about 6 weeks. So that's keeping all the public off of these lands for 6 weeks, entire 500 acres, so that they can round up these cattle. I think that sounds excessive. Then they talked about the notice of intent, and that the BLM did make attempts to reach out to the Bundy family. Just made objections on hearsay. That was overruled. Then they talked about, they started out with a moderate level of risk. And they made the First Amendment areas as a safe place where the public could see the operation but not be in the closure. Close to the areas where the trucks would be entering and exiting, but not where the roundup was. And they said this was typical behavior, that they set up these First Amendment areas and it's typical behavior. And they talked about where they said typical behavior, yes. The incident command else from the Bundys? Yeah, we got that. Security concerns were getting the cattle to the command post after they rounded them up. If the convoy was blocked, it could make a problem and cause to get the contractor out of the area safely. That's why they needed this. The goal was to keep the public out for the closure and for public safety. So that's kind of crazy. Then they bring in the range war video. And this is one of the videos I believe the Bundys made. And they played the video for this agent and would stop it periodically and ask him to narrate the video. So now he has nothing to do with the making of this video, and everything he was saying was completely his opinion on the video. And so everyone made objections to that. It was overruled. So they continued through this. Well, they started out, who's that standing there? Well, Ryan Bundy's standing on the horse in front of that truck and he's stopping him. Who's that? Well, Cliven Bundy's holding his phone and he's taking photos of the license plates or the people inside. Now, who's to say what Cliven was taking pictures of? Just objected to that, playing the video, telling the jury what he sees, because the video should be evidence in itself. Nobody needs to tell the jury what they're seeing in the video. That was overruled. I believe every defendant joined in on that, and it was overruled. So that was a little crazy. On March 30th, they report that Cliven and Ryan went out to the Arizona-Utah port of entry to ask if there was trucks going through with cattle, and that added to the reason for them to raise the threat level. And then they also said the auction barn had threats, and that Ryan and 25 to 30 people interrupted his auction, but he was still willing to honor the contract after that on April 6th. Now let me mind you, we're only to April 6th now. None of the defendants were even in Nevada or anywhere near this at this time. So everything that we have gone through, this entire courtroom, this entire day, has absolutely nothing to do with the defendants. So we're just being bombarded with information that is not pertaining to our case. At the end, this is the end of the day. We're ending. We didn't get to cross-examine. We will start again tomorrow morning with the same agent. The government will continue with this tactic that the judge is letting them continue with, and we will get to cross-examine tomorrow. That's all I got.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Andrea.
Did I do okay?
Yeah, you did great. Thank you.
I tried to take accurate notes as much